This is Trevor Sternad from the Black Dahlia Murder here, and you're listening to the Everblack podcast.
Hey, human skull, this is odorous from Guam.
Going to the Fear Factory.
This is George Corshorn Fisher.
This is Gas from Double Drop.
This is Wade from Our Last Enemy.
Magnificent Suicidal Tendencies.
Hey, this is Wednesday 13. This is Bruce. This is Rex from Kill Devil Hill.
This is Gary Lee from Sepultura, and you're listening to Everblack Podcast.
Before we go into this episode of the Everblack Podcast, we just need to give a shout out to our show supporters, the occult clothing brand Electric Witch, who have amazing apparel from shirts to hoodies to hats to beanies, dresses and more. Check out their full range at electricwitch.com.au and put in the code Everblack for 20% off your order. Also, don't forget to subscribe, rate and review the Everblack Podcast on Spotify and iTunes podcast streams, and see all our video interviews on the Everblack YouTube channel. You can also read all our articles and reviews at everblack.com.au. All right, on with the show. I appreciate you joining us on the show, Dave. How's everything going in Flaming Wrekage land?
Yeah, man, it's going great. We're finally playing some shows, which is a massive relief after a year of not doing anything. We were doing stuff behind the scenes, but we weren't playing, so that's why we do it. But yeah, it's been good to get back out there, man. We're kind of in the middle of this kind of weird spaced out tour just because we had to reschedule everything so many times. We just kind of jumped at any dates we could get. But we're going all over the country, which is really cool. So yeah, we've done 2 shows so far. We did Sydney and Newcastle, both been killer. Nice. And yeah, man, new album's out. So it's been a long time coming. It's been a lot of work building up to this kind of moment, I guess. And now it's all out and we can get out there and play some shows. It feels really good. It's a big relief.
Well, the new album, of course, is Cathedral of Bones and Cathedral of Bones, I should say. Mate, I've only had a couple of sips of this one. But yeah, Cathedral of Bones, man, it's a killer album and people are absolutely loving it, man. Like the feedback online looks like you really released a winner here. And, you held back on the release, understandably, with everything that happened with the shit show of 2020. But it's out there, man. It must be a massive relief that it's out there.
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, like you said, we did sit on it for quite a while, and just based off the reaction that it's got in the last almost a month now it's been out, I'm really stoked that we did wait. Like ideally we would have put it out last year, but yeah, like I said, it was a shit show, and we're just not in the position where we can put out an album and like have it go well without getting on the road. Like it's really difficult to like unless you're fucking Metallica, like it's pretty hard to put a record out and have people I just didn't want people to forget about it straight away, you know what I mean? And I've had other like really close mates of mine in other bands that were in the unfortunate position last year where they did release albums at a really bad time and just not being able to go on tour. It's just really shitty situation, especially when you've worked on something for so long. Like this album took, I think it was like almost 2 years of writing.
Wow.
And then plus another year of just sitting on it. Like it got to the point where we just heard it too many times, and you go through that whole thing in your mind where you're like, oh, I'm just second guessing myself. Is this even that good? But yeah, like as soon as we put the first single out, I was just like, yeah, we've done the right thing here. We've waited the right amount of time, and now everything's slowly creeping back in. And yeah, man, like I said, it's a massive relief to get it out there finally. It's been very cathartic, I would say.
Well, it's definitely been timed right. That's for sure. I've had mates of mine too that did the same thing. They released the album and they've had to wait to tour. But people are still going out in force.
The delayed album launch of like, a year later. I didn't really want to be in that position.
Yeah. But still support those bands.
Yeah, for sure, man. And we got lucky. Like we were in the position where we could do that. Like I know bands that were, like this time last year, pretty much, it was just like shit was changing by the day. And if your album was due to come out in March 2020, you'd probably go, oh, it's going to be all right. I'm sure it'll all blow over in a month. Not knowing that, you're probably going to cancel a whole year's worth of touring and all the rest of it. So yeah, man, like we got really lucky with that. But yeah.
Well, I'm a big fan of the artwork. It's so brutal, man. Did you
So am I,
come
man.
up with that concept? Who came up with the
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Cathedral of Bones like concept in itself was something that I've been sort of toying with for a little while. Just got really deep down the rabbit hole of the whole like apocalyptic sort of theme, and like the dudes on the front cover that are kind of like building the cathedral. It's just like each bone is like a building block to the apocalypse sort of thing, and that was kind of the concept I was toying with there. And as for the actual artwork itself, it was like that was one of the more challenging aspects of the whole record, to be honest. Like we had 3 different artists that we used for that. Like the guy that designed our logo and has done about 5 or 6 different shirts for us, this Indonesian guy that we normally use for pretty much all our art. He had the concept like halfway there and then just went completely dark. Didn't hear from him, just stopped replying to emails. So we had to move on to someone else, and then we got someone else, and he wasn't really what we were looking for. And then we hit up Mike from M29 Creative, and I mean, as far like if you're a metal artist and someone says the album's called Cathedral of Bones, it's just like, all right, I reckon I got this. Like like there's not much that has to be said about that, really. Like you just draw a fucking church made out of bones, and he just absolutely nailed it. Like that was basically the first thing he sent us, like straight off the bat, and it was not many changes really. So yeah, he absolutely nailed it, man. And he did a whole slew of art to go with the promo and stuff. But yeah, I'm absolutely stoked with that cover. It looks so sick.
On a big banner, it'll be awesome.
Yeah, we did. We had like a pre-order comp. So like anyone that had pre-ordered the album went into a draw to win this like massive poster. There's this big A1 printout. We all signed it and stuff.
Sick.
And yeah, they look pretty cool. Yeah,
man. What about flags? Like big flag? Remember it used to be the thing. Hey, like
yeah, that was always
flags.
like the part of the merch bundle. Hey,
yeah. That on the
yeah,
card.
maybe we should do something. I don't know. Yeah, maybe.
Cool. Dude,
I want to get.
awesome.
I want to do some. Yeah, I definitely want to do some vinyl. But it was a bit of a like we've never done vinyl before, and I really wanted to do it for this record, especially given the quality of the artwork. But just like the way that the track listing was laid out, like I didn't even know that you had to have like a certain amount of minutes on each side of the album, and like because it's a 9-track album, the track in the middle, like track 5, is too long. So even if no matter which side you put it on, it's over. So the only way we can do vinyl is if we do 2 discs, which I still definitely want to do down the track, but it just makes it really, really expensive.
Oh yeah.
But the good thing about metal fans they're massive collectors of that shit. So yeah, it's definitely in the pipeline, man. I wanted to get that done before the end of the year, 100%.
Yeah, that'd be amazing, dude. They'll buy it, even if it's like the 2 disc.
That's right.
That's a picture disc. Would you go picture disc?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I mean, it'd be cool to get like a couple of different variants, like maybe like a blood splatter or something. Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I want to see that. I want to see that cover on some vinyl, man. It's too good.
And to hold, I guess it'd be a pretty special moment too, to hold the vinyl in your hand.
Oh, totally.
And experience.
Even just holding the CD was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's just like it's always a special moment when you get to hold like the physical copy of something that you've put that much effort into. But yeah, definitely the vinyl, just like holding it up. It's fucking sick.
Going straight to the pool room, mate. Frame it on the wall.
That's right.
Yeah,
100%.
Absolutely. Where do you come up with your concepts and stuff like that? Everyone's got their own little process. Sometimes, be driving to work, ideas will pop into their head. Where do you find that you get your inspiration?
Just from all over, man. Like, it's funny you should say that, driving to work. I drive for work, so I've got a lot of time on the road to think about that kind of stuff. And basically, like 90% of my thought process is just band stuff. So I'm always thinking, like, especially when we were writing for this album, I was like always thinking about lyrics. And I'm my own worst enemy when it comes to that stuff. Like I rewrite my own, like lyrics, especially a million times. And I get really deep into like specific concepts, especially on this record. Like I said before, there's a lot of sort of apocalyptic stuff going on. And I mean, and you can pull inspiration from anywhere, man. absolutely. Anyway, so you just got to keep your eyes and ears open for that kind of stuff, and I just get inspired from like all angles. It's really cool. Like I think you got to keep your mind open to that kind of stuff. But yeah, man, like this album as well. Like there's some like personal stuff on there. Like I wouldn't go as far as to say that it is a concept record, but yeah, I think it's a cool blend of like social and like apocalyptic themes. They all kind of blend in together, and it just makes for it's pretty bleak, like the whole theme of the record. But it's just like I just explored that sort of vibe in like a bunch of different ways, and that can come from like personal experience or just anything really. Just being in a band was one, like just like the touring and like just the shit that you come across from being in a band. I think that was definitely something that I pulled from, like just the mode of travel and the experiences that you come across from being in a band. It's not like anything else really. And yeah, I think that was a big one for me. And yeah, just exploring all those sorts of themes is really interesting, man. It was really, really, really cool.
See, that's the thing. A lot of people see all the rad stuff, but they don't see the blood, sweat, beers, and
totally.
Beers. You know what I mean? Like people see all the good, awesome stuff,
Yeah.
but they don't see the struggle behind it.
Yeah.
So
that's right. I mean, like one of the second single we released, Running Blind, like the concept for that song was like, that's become almost our mantra now. Like there's a line in that, don't bury the pain, use the hate. And that's something like that song was written when we were in tour in Europe. And I don't want to like go too far into it, but there was a few egos at play. I'll just leave it at that. And like we, as a band, we kind of had this meeting one night and we were just like, look, it's not going to work if we're just going to, like go and get into a war of words with these dudes. I reckon we just got to get on stage and just smoke them every night, sell more merch than them, go harder than they're going to play. Like, fuck it, just go harder. So it's that song was just more about like just like channeling those negative emotions into something constructive, and that was something that I feel is like really boosted the band's just the way we go about it. Like there's no point picking fights. It's just way more productive to just get out there and smash it and do what we do. So yeah, that was something that we really stick to, like even to this day. So that was really cool.
That's awesome, man. Of course, you worked once again with the legendary Chris Themelko. Sorry, dude, Chris Themelko. He's incredible. He does such amazing work. How was it working with Chris again?
Man, it was awesome. Like, it's the second time we worked with him, but this time was the best because he like this whole album we did drums in a studio, but the rest of it was just recorded in my living room, and we just like reamped everything. So like his home, like that was the first album that he's done like outside of Melbourne, I think. So yeah, he just like brought this little bag up to Sydney and just stayed in my house for like 2 weeks, and we just smashed it. It was awesome. Like, and like the thing with Chris is like he's a guy that really understands our band and he likes our band, and that's like that just makes it so much. Like he's pumped to get a good result as well. And it's like, and during that process, he almost becomes part of the band. He's like, we did a shitload of pre-pro on this record, which was like a hugely beneficial thing. Like we never really done that before, and that was with Dom Simpson from Darker Half. We spent a lot of time just like crafting the songs before we took it to Chris, and it was 95% finished. But like just his insight and like just little things that he offers like along the way, and like especially for me personally, because he's a guitarist and a singer, and that's the same here. So when we're doing vocals, he'll just push you that little extra mile, and yeah, like I said, man, just like him wanting to get the best out of the band is just like such a hugely beneficial part of the recording process, and he's just so professional and just all over it. And like just the difference in like skill level between From Flesh to Dust and Cathedral of Bones is just incredible. Like, and I was at the time when we did Flesh, I was like, this is the fucking, best production I've ever heard. This is, it's such a tight unit that we're working with here. And when it got to this record, I was just like, I didn't think it could get any better, but holy shit, like it's so solid. So yeah. And he's a really close friend of the band too. So yeah, man, it's awesome to work with him. We would highly recommend.
Where'd you do your vocals?
Also in the living room.
Oh, really?
We built a little, we built like a little enclosure with a couple of mattresses and like a sheet over my head. And that's how we did it.
No complaints from the neighbors?
No, I don't think so. Oh man, we were going through a bit of a shit time with our neighbors, so fuck them.
Yeah.
But like recording vocals is a bit of a pain. Like that's my least favorite part of recording. Like I like doing guitars because it's like a creative thing. Like you can just keep adding layers and stuff, and it's fun. But you can't do vocals for more than 2 hours, maybe.
It's hard work, man. People don't understand,
grind, man.
Dude.
Yeah.
And then you do a take and you go, oh, I can do it better. I'll give it one more go. I'll give it one more go. And they're going, we've got enough. I'm like, no, one more.
Yeah. And like, if you're the guy that's written it, it's never good enough.
It's true.
So yeah,
I understand.
It was hard, man. And it was the middle of summer too. So, and Chris was like, you're not allowed to drink. You're only allowed to drink tea and warm water. And I was like, man, it's like 40 degrees. Can I just have one beer when we finish? He's like, no, we got 2 more days and then you can have a beer. Like,
oh man,
that's punishing,
mate.
Yeah, but no, it was good. Like I think he really got the best performance out of me, and like we pushed it really fucking hard. But I'm really happy with how it sounded on the record, so it was worth it.
Voice sounds incredible. Like it sounds really, really fucking good, dude. Like thanks, amazing. Man. Yeah.
I'm just trying to emulate it live now, which is even harder.
Do you find that you write all that material and you push yourself in the studio or push yourself at writing, and then when it does come time to jam it out in the live situation, that you've got to try and, I don't know, refigurate things, and like, because you played a couple of these
totally,
live, man. Right? Recently.
Yeah. On this tour, we're basically playing the whole album except for one song, I think. But like that's just part of the process. Like you kind of have to relearn the songs before you play them live. Because like for us at least, it's just about like getting the best possible like take or like the best possible like recording.
Absolutely.
And that just comes at any cost. So if it's going to be an absolute motherfucker to do live, it's like, we'll worry about that later. So, there's heaps of songs I'm like, why the fuck did I write that? That's just going to be the worst thing live. But I had a couple of lessons with Kane from the Amenta.
The best. The best.
Yeah. And like, I had like 2 or 3 with him, and he was really cool, man. Like he's like, I want to teach you how to scream with feel. And even if you have shit monitors, and like I want to get that power across, and that was something that I really wanted to do on this like touring cycle, because like when we went to Europe, I was like, like touring Australia, it's not really like you don't play every night. You do at most 2-3 shows a week. But when you're playing every night, like, and I didn't really realize that it was going to be that much of a strain on my voice. So after that tour, I was like, I really need some lessons. But I sent him a few of the new songs, and I really wanted to emulate that power live. And just like he just showed me a bunch of breathing exercises and stuff like that, and it's just really helped. I'm much more conscious of warming up properly and like the way I'm breathing on stage now, which is really helping me out. So yeah, thanks, Kane.
Yeah,
good.
I want to get lessons with Kane too. He's a good dude.
Yeah, man. Yeah, he's a really nice guy, and yeah, very good teacher as well.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Of course, I mean, the new album has a very personal song on there, the Voiceless, which is of course about your sister.
Yeah, man.
That's such a amazing song, man. And how was it writing that and putting it together, and how did the boys support you with that? Because I could imagine that song would have really taken a lot for you to put that down on paper.
Yeah, for sure, man. Like I said before, like I'm my own worst enemy with lyrics, but that one in particular, like, wanted to get that, pretty spot on, as you can imagine.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, it's a tough concept. Like you gotta throw yourself back into the fire a little bit there and just like dig up some memories that are not so nice, I guess. But yeah, man, like it was a cathartic process, I think, like just to get that like on paper and down, like, and the video clip as well was something that was it was a whole package. Like I wanted the song and the clip and everything to just paint a really strong picture of like just the concept of resilience and just like overcoming a lot of barriers and just that kind of thing. And yeah, the boys were super supportive of that. Yeah, I'm really happy with that song, man. It's fucking powerful. But
He's a very powerful.
They're often the best ones. Thanks, man.
Have you had people contact you?
Yeah, it was when I showed my mum and dad, they were like, "Oh, that's full on."
Oh, really?
Because it's kind of written. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of written from their perspective, like just trying to get through it at all costs, kind of thing. That's the concept I really wanted to get across. So yeah, when I showed them the lyrics and they like heard it and stuff, they were pretty emotional. But yeah, man, it's cool. Like it's like I said, it's a cathartic process to get those sort of songs down. And like I've never really gotten into territory like that before, like that personal. Like I've written songs about people that I don't like and stuff, but that's easy to just be like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. But
yeah,
if you're when you're writing stuff that's like really deep and from the heart, it's a different story. But yeah, I'm really happy with how it came out. So
it's a lot hard. I've thought about that in the past, man. It's a lot harder to write something like that than the fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You know what I mean? It's a completely
100%.
Yeah. But you've done it very, very well.
Yeah.
Man. Have you had people
like with the clip as well? Like
either? I think we're getting a bit of a delay.
Sorry, man.
I'll go. Then you go. It's yeah. I think it's the weather, that shitty weather. But yeah. Sorry, I cut you off, dude.
No, you're right. Yeah, just like when we were doing the clip, another thing that was like a really challenging aspect was just trying to get the concept across to the videographer we were working with, James. Great guy, and he ended up he's done quite a few things for us. But yeah, like I had this concept that was kind of, like I wanted it to be in a prison, and I wanted like to represent that kind of concept of being like trapped, and like it was just like the concept itself was just this free flowing thing. I was kind of like doing it on the fly, and I kept like, much like the lyrics, that got rewritten like quite a few times as well. But I was dealing with this guy that I didn't really know very well, and trying to explain a very personal part of my life to this guy that I hardly knew was like just immensely challenging, because he's just like, I'm just like throwing stuff down, and he's like, oh, what if we did this? I'm like, yeah, but it's not about that at all. So it's just really hard to get that across. But he was really patient and really really helpful with that whole process. And yeah, that clip was fucking great as well, man. Like that was an interesting one to film. But I had some really close mates that worked with me on that too. Like my friend Kate, who played like it's the role of my sister, I guess, is like loosely represented in the clip, with like the sewn shut mouth and stuff, because she's nonverbal. So that was one of the main things I wanted to get across. But yeah, man, the whole, like, from starting writing that song to finishing that video clip was just immensely challenging. But yeah, like I said, it's fucking definitely worth the journey.
Have you had people contact you after seeing it and listening to the song about their own stories and how they related to it?
Yeah, man. I wasn't really expecting too much of that, but I have had a couple actually, and yeah, it's great like that. It's it's hitting people in the right place, but yeah, like I always like to write our lyrics in like from a like it's I like to keep it a little bit open to interpretation. Like um, you know, it can seem like direct for me, but if someone can take something else from that concept entirely, that's great. Like it's just it's more it can be seen as a more broad concept, like just the concept of resilience and strength can be interpreted in shitloads of different ways. So it doesn't have to be specifically about having a disabled sister in that exact situation. Like you can take all sorts of positive things from that. So yeah, man, if people can get anything out of that, that's just great.
How's it playing it live?
It's really hard to play.
Yeah.
Just because, yeah, like it's just from a technical perspective, it's a really hard song to play live. But yeah, there's always one bit like the just before the solo that's like a really powerful riff, and that bit always gets me a little bit. But it's good. Like it gives me that extra bit of energy just to get to like through the song. And yeah, man, I just got to be careful with those kind of songs because like when you're really pumped and like that's how you blow your voice out if you just like pushing a little bit too hard, but yeah, you get that like raw emotion out, and like I really want to get that out live, like from a live point of view as well. So yeah, man, it's really fun one to play live. I just got to stay in shape to get that one out properly.
Well, I'll tell you what, man, I am keen as fuck to see you boys in when are you playing up here? May, isn't it? There's a festival at south side of Hellfest.
Yeah,
Black Reno and Massive.
Yeah, man,
that's gonna be awesome.
Cool,
huge.
Yeah, that'll be a great show. We yeah, it worked out pretty well. Like we had another show booked on the same date, and we're just about to release this House Fox Sessions thing that Ryan from Black Reno does. He's got a studio just north of Sydney, and he does these like little live sessions with a bunch of different bands. So we just did one of those, and while we were there, I was like talking about some tour dates, and he's like, "Oh yeah, we got this show. We're going to Brizzy in May." I was like, "Oh yeah, what date?" He's like, "Oh, the 8th." I'm like, "Fuck, we got that booked." So I was like, "Well, I don't want to compete with you guys. So do you want to just like join forces?" So yeah, we just ended up getting a bigger venue than what we both had anyway. So it's gonna be great, man. I can't wait for that one. It's gonna be a ripper.
Monday, biggest hangover. I reckon that's gonna be the massive party up here, mate. It's gonna be huge.
Oh yeah, for sure. Every time we go to Brizzy, it's a bit of a party. It's always good fun.
Yeah, absolutely. How's it been planning the tour though? Through
Mate,
not knowing exactly what's going on. It seems like it's going all right now, but how was it putting it together?
Yeah, it's been pretty tough, man. Like last year, we had a bunch of shows that got cancelled, obviously, and I was just trying to stay, like just trying to plan that out to coincide with the album release, to make it the launch tour. That's been the hardest part. And it's just been real tough, like rescheduling stuff, because each state has had different like restrictions, and like we were supposed to start this tour at the end of Feb, but it just like the first show was supposed to be in Adelaide, and then it just got too close, and we're like, fuck, we got to start worrying about like promo and flights and stuff. And even though those shows did go ahead for the other bands, it was just too hard for us to commit to that.
Yeah.
So like so that happened a couple of times, and then you kind of just had to stay ahead of the game. Like if something got cancelled, you just try and rebook it straight away, and that's why this tour has ended up a little bit spaced out, just because venues are just all over the shop as well. Just so whatever date came through, we were just like, yeah, we'll just have it. But we're taking the tour pretty deep into the year, man, and that's really exciting. Like we're doing a lot of regional stuff, which is really cool. Like I don't want to, like we're not going to be able to go overseas for another little while probably. Yeah. So I just figured like, let's just smash Australia. Let's just go everywhere we can. So yeah, we're just booking more and more shows just all over the shop, which is really cool. Like hitting a lot of places we haven't been before. And like, that's a really exciting thing about this album cycle as well. Like, a lot of those towns, like like they haven't seen a lot of metal bands come through that often. So, if you go to their town, they fucking love it, man. And yeah, that's just a really cool thing that we're doing. So yeah, we want to try and push as many mixed bills as we can as well. That's another thing that I really want to push on this tour. Like, I think we're all a bit tired of the whole 4-band formula. That's 4 bands that sound exactly the same. I want to try and spice it up a little bit with a few different bands, like stoner rock, thrash metal, death metal. Why not? Like, I think it's good for the bands. You get to play to different people, and people like the punters get to see a bit of a mixed bag as well. So so we're just going to try and push that kind of thing as much as we can. And yeah, like, it's been a bit of a punish trying to book some of the shows, but you know what, man, fuck it. Like, we're out on tour now, so
hey, man,
just going to keep booking it.
Just keep rolling, man. It's
that's
awesome. And I mean, you've toured internationally, and you played you toured Indonesia.
Yeah.
That's like one of my dreams, man. Like those guys over there, I hear nothing but they love the metal and
yeah, they love it.
Hammersonic. Did you guys do Hammersonic?
No, we did like 3 shows. We were supposed to do 8, but we got kicked out of the country. So
oh, what?
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, it was pretty wild. We just, like, the promoter we were with, it was an absolute legend. And we did our research before we went there. We knew a bunch of Aussie bands that had toured on the same sort of circuit, but I guess we just got unlucky. We had a show where some undercover cops rocked up and took our passports, and they just held on to them for a few days. And they were basically like, if you don't get a flight tomorrow, you're fucking out of here. So yeah, we just had to leave. It was pretty upsetting, but yeah, it was a whole thing, man. It was a really intense time, actually. But yeah, man,
hectic.
It was hectic. Yeah.
Oh man.
But yeah, like you're saying, that like the death metal scene there is fucking insane. Like, everyone is just frothing on it. We played with some crazy bands there, man. Like, they're all like, just 15-year-old kids just playing at 280 BPM. It's full on. But yeah, like, I was really disappointed. I mean, we would have loved to have finished that tour. Like, it was such a good time. And but yeah, I mean, that was probably one of the most intense things we've ever been through as a band. And like, after that, like, when you go through something like that as a band, you just like, and you still want to go out there and still keep touring, I think you're in it for life,
Would you give it another crack over there? Would you ever?
I'm not sure, man. Like I probably would, but I don't know about if the other dudes would. It was pretty crazy. Like, yeah, like, I got like taken into a room with this immigration officer guy and just questioned for like 2-3 hours about why we were there. Like the whole, it was pretty full on. Like, the whole thing was that we didn't have the right visas, but we weren't making any money there. Like, no one can make any money there. Like, it's, the kids are wild, but they don't have cash to spend on merch. We weren't getting paid for any shows, but they said that we were promoting the shows still, so we had to have a visa for advertising. But like, it's corrupt as fuck. So
that's a bummer. That's a real bummer.
Yeah, man. I mean, like, it sucked to cut the tour short, but yeah, the shows we did do were fucking amazing. Like, yeah, it was really fun.
Well, I mean, another thing, talking about merch, you mentioned merch. You guys have got some awesome merch, and you just sold out of your hot sauce. I love the name of it. Was it the Capsiclysm? It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that was cool. Yeah, I've got some right here, actually.
Oh, look at that.
That's one of the. That's one of the last bottles. We're all sold out. It was cool, man. I thought like it's been a bit of a thing. Like, a lot of metal bands have been doing hot sauce and getting creative with merch and stuff, which I reckon is really cool. Like, why not do some more interesting stuff? And I mean, I've wanted to do a hot sauce for ages, just because of the name of the band. It goes pretty hand in hand.
Yeah.
But it was fun. Like, it was my recipe. I made it myself with
cool.
with a mate from work. So yeah, it was really cool.
What do
but
you?
yeah, man. Like,
What do you had with it? Have you? I mean, obviously you made it, so you would have. You know, you've had it yourself. What's your signature dish?
yeah.
What's the?
Oh, it's just a good like everyday sauce, just on top of anything. It's really good on just like charcoal chicken. That's probably the best thing to have it on, I reckon.
Nice.
But yeah, man, it was fun. I've never made like a big. I love cooking, so, but I've never made like a big batch like hot sauce before. It was really fun.
I recently got a bottle of the Amenta hot sauce.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Uh,
That's Dicey's hot sauce
yeah,
company.
yeah,
Hey?
yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
The bump in sauce code.
yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had some just before, and I put a little bit too much, and man, it's got
You're
bite.
in trouble.
Yeah, I thought I was in trouble. Hey, I thought I was going to be like walking out into the desert, you know, talking to a coyote or something, you know, like Homer. But
Yeah.
I got through it.
Yeah.
Got through it. I survived. You all right,
Well,
Dicey?
that's how you know. That's how you know it's a good sauce if you're tripping.
Yeah, yeah. I do. I don't eat enough. I'm trying to build up that tolerance at the moment, so I can get to the hotter
Yeah, right.
stuff, like that. You know what I mean? Like, I want to be able to sit there and eat the.
Yeah,
real
right.
stuff.
Well, yeah. Well, this one was one of my good mates has a like a jerk chicken barbecue food truck. So he makes all his own sauces and marinades and stuff. So I just sent him a little sample of my like initial recipe, and he tweaked a few things, and then yeah, we just like put it together. It was cool, man. But yeah, like when I first gave him a little sample, he's like, "Oh, you need like 3 times more chili than that if anyone's going to take you seriously." So like it bumped up the heat a fair bit, but yeah, man, it tastes really good. I'm pretty stoked with it. It was good. I just we had a few blowouts in the merch orders though. Like a few of the lids like cracked, and a few shirts got destroyed by chili sauce.
Oh, brutal.
But luckily they were all in Sydney, so I was able to just sort that out in house. But yeah, fuck, it was pretty annoying. I don't know what Australia Post are doing, man. It's like they, you know, dropping them out the back of the truck and then just reversing over it just to make sure. But
it's like in Ace Ventura, you know, when he's like,
yeah,
he's like throwing it around and kicking it, and then he's
yeah,
pretty sure that's what happened. That's
yeah, man.
Mate, yeah, we that's a whole other episode. But is there more hot sauce on the way? Are you gonna?
I wouldn't mind doing another one. Yeah, I want to do like a green one, like a jalapeno serrano blend, maybe. That'd be cool. I like my go-to like thing is like Mexican food, and pretty. Me and my missus cook up a mean taco spread, so wouldn't mind doing like this hot sauce started out as like a little red salsa that I was doing, and then just evolved into this, but I wouldn't mind doing like a green one. I reckon that'd be cool.
Let me know, because I'll be down for it.
All right, copy
all
that.
right. When you get it out,
yeah,
and
cool.
I'll be money down.
Yeah, sick.
Well, I mean, you've got the shows, you got the tour, everything seems to be happening for you guys right now. What's next? What's on the cards for the rest of the year, apart from the touring and the hot sauce, bro?
We're gonna do some more merch in winter. Like I think we'll probably do like a long sleeve and maybe a hoodie. And yeah, just more touring, and we'll just see where that takes us. Like I'm putting the feelers out for international stuff already, because it's like, you know, it's kind of a join the queue situation.
Yeah.
Like there's so many bands that have had stuff cancelled, obviously, and they're going to be more of a priority. But I definitely want to get over to Europe on this album cycle. So we'll see how that goes, but you never know, man. But I like to do some more writing as well. Like last year we were in a bit of a weird position. Like we had this album ready to go, and we just wanted to tour it, but we couldn't. So we had all this time, and like, I don't know about you, but like rehearsing without a set list is fucking useless. It's really boring, and like we just couldn't get any vibe. So we just started writing more stuff. So we've already got like a bunch more shit in the bank. And but we haven't touched it for like quite a few months, obviously, because this new record is sort of the priority. But you know, yeah, it'd be cool to like get back in stuck into that again and just see where all those songs are at, and yeah, you know, just like keep an eye on those songs kind of thing. Like I don't want to like leave it until we have finished this whole touring cycle and then go, oh yeah, we had some songs I seem to remember, and you know, and then we haven't played them for 2 years and no one knows how they go. So yeah, man, I don't know. I think we're just going to try and keep busy in all departments and just keep it rolling. But yeah, main priority is just to play as many shows as we possibly can. I think that's the main thing we want to do. So yeah, just all corners of Australia we're going to try and hit. So yeah, should be fun.
Exciting times, dude. Well, I'm pumped to see you guys in Brisbane. That's for sure. But in the meantime, dude, thanks for hanging out. And of course, we're going to have all the links to Cathedral of Bones right down here, plus the merch and everything else you got. And we'll see you in Brisbane, brother. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, man.